Well, that wasn't his name. His name was Barry Soetoro, and that was his name, and he changed his name to Barack Hussein Obama, and his original name was a very different name.
He grew up and nobody knew him. When you interview people, if I ever got the nomination, if I ever decide to run, you may go back and interview people from my kindergarten. They'll remember me. Nobody ever comes forward. Nobody knows who he is until later in his life. It's very strange. The whole thing is very strange. Why doesn't he show his birth certificate? 3 weeks ago, I thought he was born in this country. Right now, I have some real doubts. I have people that actually have been studying it, and they cannot believe what they're finding.
You have people now down there searching, I mean, in Hawaii?
Absolutely, and they cannot believe what they're finding. People have birth certificates. He doesn't have a birth certificate. Now, he may have one, but there's something on that birth, maybe religion, maybe it says he's a Muslim, I don't know. Maybe he doesn't want that, or he may not have one. He doesn't have a birth certificate, or he hasn't provided. He's given a certificate of live birth. It's a much different
certificate
instrument.
of live birth meets the standard of the State Department for anyone's citizenship.
George,
there were contemporaneous reports in two
George,
Hawaiian
they have co-opted
newspapers
you.
Given us, no, those are the facts,
George,
sir.
they've co-opted you.
Who's they?
It's not obviously Obama and his minions. They have co-opted you. Our president has finally released a birth certificate. I'd want to look at it, but I hope it's true, so that we can get on to much more important matters. The word is, according to what I've read, that he was a terrible student when he went to Occidental. He then gets to Columbia. He then gets to Harvard. I heard at Columbia wasn't a very good student. He then gets to Harvard. How do you get into Harvard if you're not a good student? Now, maybe that's right, or maybe it's wrong. But I don't know why he doesn't release his records. Why doesn't he release his Occidental records? You know, it took a long time to produce this certificate, and when it came out, as you know, you check out the internet, many people say it is not real, okay, that it's a forgery. I don't know what's wrong with Obama. He wants to close his eyes and pretend it's not happening. Why is he so emphatic on not solving the problem? There's something we don't know about. There's something we don't know about. Okay, this man, I like this guy.
From White Plains. Amen. Okay. We have a problem in this country. It's called Muslims. We know our current president is one. Right. You know he's not even an American.
We need this
birth
question.
certificate,
This
man.
question.
But anyway, we have training camps growing where they want to kill us. Mm-hmm. That's my question. When can we get rid of
We're going to be looking at a lot of different things. And, you know, a lot of people are saying that, and a lot of people are saying that bad things are happening out there. We're going to be looking at that and plenty of other things.
What do you think is Obama's real reason for flooding America with Muslims from Syria right now when 30 states say no?
Well, you know, it's hard to imagine, and obviously some people think it's evil intentions. I think personally it's incompetence, but, you know, regardless, a lot of people think it's evil intentions. Do you know, if you're a Christian, and this is before this problem, if you were a Christian in Syria, it was virtually impossible to come into our country. If you were a Muslim in Syria, it was one of the easiest ways to come into the United States. I don't know if you've ever heard that. If you're a Christian, it's very hard to get into this country, and if you are a Muslim, it's very easy. Bad things will happen. A lot of bad things will happen. There will be attacks that you wouldn't believe. There will be attacks by the people that are right now coming into our country, because I have no doubt in my mind. I mean, you look at it, they have cell phones, so they don't have money, they don't have anything, they have cell phones. Who pays their monthly charges, right? They have cell phones with the flags, the ISIS flags on them. First of all, why are people in a migration having cell phones? That was the first question. It's sort of strange. I mean, who's paying for those cell phones? Where are they coming from? Who are they calling? These are people. Can you imagine many, many, many cell phones? Why? Where do they get cell phones? Who pays their monthly bill? What do? Don't they get billed by the phone company or something?
And this video that you linked to appears to be a hoax.
What do I know about it? All I know is what's on the internet. When the World Trade Center came tumbling down, and I watched in Jersey City, New Jersey, where thousands and thousands of people were cheering as that building was coming down. You take this little beautiful baby and you pump, I mean, it looks just like it's meant for a horse, not for a child. And we've had so many instances, people that work for me just the other day, 2 years old, 2.5 years old, a beautiful child, went to have the vaccine and came back and a week later got a tremendous fever, got very, very sick, now is autistic. There's a whole thing. And you know, his father was with Lee Harvey Oswald prior to Oswald being
shot. I mean, the whole thing is ridiculous. What is this right prior to his being shot? And nobody even brings it up. I mean, they don't even talk about that. That was reported, and nobody talks about it. But I think it's horrible. I think it's absolutely horrible that a man can go and do that, what he's saying there.
Right. There was a picture out there that's reportedly shows Rafael Cruz standing with Lee Harvey Oswald.
I mean, what was he doing with Lee Harvey Oswald shortly before the death, before the shooting? It's horrible.
Well, I need to come back to the topic we've been all screaming about here, which is Scalia. Was he murdered? I went on the air and said we need the equivalent of a Warren Commission. We need an immediate autopsy before the body is disposed of. What do you think of that?
Well, I just heard today, and just a little while ago, actually. I just landed, and I'm hearing it's a big topic, that's the question. And it's a horrible topic, but they say they found the pillow on his face, which is a pretty unusual place to find a pillow.
This whole global warming hoax. And this winter is brutal. I mean, I'm in New York right now. The airports were closed. Everything's closed. It's freezing. We haven't had a winter like this in a long time. It's not the hoax doesn't bother me if it didn't mean anything.
Now, what do you mean hoax?
Well, it's a hoax. I think the scientists are having a lot of fun. It was, I wouldn't say started, just like Al Gore started the Internet. He's the one that really is the big proponent. The problem we're doing is we're making our manufacturing, our factories, and other things, we're making them non-competitive to other countries.
I just want to finish by saying your reputation's amazing. I will not let you down. You will be very, very impressed, I hope. And I think we'll be speaking a lot, but you'll be looking at me in a year or 2 years. Let's give me a little bit of a time to run things. But a year into office, you'll be saying, wow, I remember that interview. He said he was going to do it, and he did a great job. You'll be very proud of our country.
Well, I'm impressed. I mean, you're saying you're fully committed.